that better? Is the mic loud enough? Okay, great. So I spoke very briefly this morning. I'm Terry Thompson, and I'm part of the Strategic Initiatives Division at the college. And I wanted to introduce Donna tonight. She's someone that doesn't really need introduction, but she's so humble. I feel like we need to say a few words about her and her abilities with Brushy Leadership Institute. And this might seem a little strange because I'm going to start this introduction by talking about myself, but hopefully it'll all make sense. But 2 years ago, when Lau Ruas created the Strategic Initiatives Division, and he approached me about it and talked to me about overseeing Partners for Education and Brushy Fork Institute and Grow Appalachia and the Air Institute, my very first thought was, but I'm not from the region. I'm originally from Colorado. I've been in that area, this side of the country, for at least going on 16, 17 years now, but that's not the same. And so I was very hesitant in accepting this role, but what I knew was that I would just have to lean on those around me that are from the region and really understand the region and take some time to learn. I feel like I will always be learning about the region and the beauty of the region and the pride of the people and the place. But what I really did my first year in the role was to just take trips out and learn and listen. And what I will say is a year ago, we had a leadership transition at the Brushy Leadership Institute, and Donna returned. And it was the best thing that could have happened for both Berea and for the program, and personally for me, because I will say, in this year, I have learned more about the region from Donna than I had in the year prior, because you understand the region. You understand community need. You understand listening first. And that is something that has been invaluable to me. Also, as we've been working through this sort of reset, or as she said, the Back to the Future at the Brushy Leadership Institute, she has been the best thought partner as we strategically plan and think about what the program should be and needs to be. And so I just want to take a moment to acknowledge Donna and all that she is for Berea and the region. Now she's going to say just a few words about Brushy Fork and its values, and then have the presentation to give after that.
Well, I was not expecting that, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm really glad to be back here. So I'm grateful to the folks that are making me feel so very welcome still, even after being here for a year. I'm still welcome, so that's a good sign. So for more than 2 decades, actually, Brushy Fork has provided has recognized a person or people who have provided exemplary service to communities in the Appalachian region. In 2012, we named this award in honor of Brushy Fork's founder, John B. Stephenson. Now, Brushy Fork offers this award based on the values that inform our work and our vision for the future of leadership in the mountains. So recipients of this award demonstrate the following values. They honor the voice and the vision of local people. They uphold equality by asserting the kinship of all people. They engage community members for mutual learning, growth, and service. They promote learning, innovation, and results through hands-on work, and a lot of that hands-on work is done by them, and they also engage others in that. They encourage mindful living. They have a zest for learning, and they show concern for others. Now, the person to whom Brushy Fork is awarding the John B. Stephenson Service Award tonight might be called something like a community's dream come true. Now, how often do we hear that we want our educated young people to return home? How many people have said that? Now, this year's award recipient is a person dedicated to employing his education, his enthusiasm, and his innovation for the good of his community. This year's award recipient is Joe Crawford. Born and raised in Estill County, Kentucky, Joe was a community problem solver at an early age. He worked to be, as part of a team of students, to advocate and convince an elected official to sponsor a bill to add a deposit to bottles in an attempt to reduce litter along the roadways. Right? Okay, good. I thought I remembered that. With his appetite whetted for policy and economic development, he pursued undergraduate studies at Eastern Kentucky University, and he went on to postgraduate studies in diplomacy and international commerce at the University of Kentucky. Now, upon earning these degrees, he returned home to Estill County, to Irvin and Ravenna, where he joined the Estill Development Alliance in 2005, and then took the helm as director in 2006. As a very young person. Yeah. For more than 13 years, Joe has championed his home community, engaging and encouraging people from all walks of life to participate in the work of strengthening Estill County. He's expressed visionary ideas and held community strategic planning sessions, from Estill Rising to Leadership Leap to the new STEAM Heritage Center that's making regional news in Ravenna. Joe's been a stalwart supporter of improving the quality of life for all people in Estill County. So Chesapeake and Ohio Engine 2716 will be restored in Ravenna, Kentucky. And that train over the summer in July made the journey back to Ravenna. Now Joe will tell you that he's not the only one engaged in this effort, and he's not. But I can remember from the time that I served on his board of the Estill Development Alliance more than a decade ago that Joe brought up a vision that he had. He was saying that the story of trains are going to be part of our story of the future in Estill County. We need to be thinking about trains. So the restoration of 2716 represents not just the restoration of a steam engine, but it's the restoration of the community. And for the folks that were there at that opening, when that train arrived, that homecoming for that train, they can attest to what that felt like, right? So it's with deep admiration that I present to Joe Crawford the 2019 John P. Stephenson Award. Now, I'll show you, we'll go ahead and present the award because I want to explain why we did this particular award. So this year's award is a painting of a train trestle that can be found near the Estill, Clark, and Powell County lines. You remember when I put that on Facebook and I was saying, what is this? I was on a detour on Highway 82 and I saw this beautiful train trestle in the spring with the green hills all around it, the fog rising up off the hills, and who answers me and says, Joe Crawford, to say, oh, that's over there at the Estill and Clark County lines. And so, just as this trestle has made connections among communities, so has Joe in his work with leadership and economic development. The imagery of trains also suggests the success of one of the latest Estill County projects in which you've had a hand, and that's the Kentucky STEAM Heritage Center in Ravenna, and the homecoming for that train. So it's a project with the potential for tourism development, education, and logistics, all based on steam rail service. So please join me in congratulating Joe Crawford, the 2019 recipient of the John B. Stephenson Service Award.
Anybody that knows me at all knows that I am never held speechless. I am impressed that Donna would manage to work the word stalwart into her little talk. I have a few words, and in my style, I did not prepare anything. I will paraphrase Mark Twain, who said, if you have a job you love, you never work a day in your life. Now, that was easy for him to say because his job was making sarcastic observations about the world around him. But regardless, I do love my work, and you were working off of an old bio from somewhere because I've added another year.
Oh,
I'm over 14 years. I'll actually be 15 years with EDA in February. And I did think as I was making the drive over this morning, 15 years ago today, what was I doing? What was I thinking? 15 years ago, okay, September, doing the math. All right, so I was in my last semester of graduate school. I was technically a single man. I was engaged, just a few months from marrying my wonderful wife. Looking ahead, did I have any idea that 15 years in the future, I'd have a fantastic daughter who I'm so proud of, and a son who has the biggest heart of anyone you'd ever meet, and is so dedicated that he could not miss soccer practice to be here tonight. 15 years ago, thinking ahead, okay, 2019, would I have had the opportunity to work with a couple of folks who truly are my heroes multiple times, and then had the opportunity to actually bring them to Estill County, implement some of the things they helped us come up with, for them to be able to come back and tell me that they're proud of me? I'm usually better at this. Did I have any idea, being a true hometown Estill County, that one of the best friends I would ever make would be a Powell County? Just not nothing right about that. Did I have any idea that I'd have the opportunity to make acquaintances with some in this room? There are some of you that I only see once a year, because we travel in different circles in different places, and that's okay, because we get this chance to come back and get re-energized and push forward for another year. Did I have any idea that I'd get the opportunity to make lifelong friendships with people from other counties, other places that I probably never would have even met if not for the work that I've been able to do, that I've been blessed to be able to do? And so, I can't go on naming names, because if I start talking about Donna, I'll get choked up again, and then I forget. But Donna, thank you. You were there in some of the hardest of times, and somehow or another, we've kept right on rolling. And it's not about me. Anytime anybody wants to give the big man here a thank you or an accolade or a tip of the hat, it's all about the folks who line up and make things happen and do the real work. And I know all of you who are in my shoes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because community is just that. It takes everybody working together, pushing, using teeny tiny pickaxes to chip away at a giant boulder. But we get there. Now sometimes the boulder rolls back on us. We just keep pushing and we keep pecking away at it. So I will wrap up, since I've already shed a couple tears here. I'll wrap up the same way that I wrap up any time that I speak to, that I read to elementary school kids, or we do career day or anything like that. No matter what I'm dealing with, I always have to end with this, especially because to a second grader, being able to memorize this much of a book is really impressive. Oh, the Places You'll Go, since it came out, has been my favorite Dr. Seuss book. Had no idea that it was sort of prophetic at the time. But the last couple pages, somehow or another, just stuck in my mind. And you will succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 and 3/4% guarantee. Kids, you'll move mountains. So be your name Bixby or Bucksbaum or Bray or Mordecai, Ali, Van Allen, O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, everyone. We will be having the networking lounge starting around 7 o'clock out in the lounge area. That's where we're actually going to be having dessert, and there will be a cash bar as well. So please feel free, and there's coffee and water as well being served. So feel free to go out, enjoy yourselves, meet new people, network with folks, make those connections. So thank you all.